Hello everyone, and welcome back to TwoSun Tuesday. And this was the one that we talked about last week. This is the TS224 Viper. And I pulled it out because it does have a lot of resemblance and kind of qualities and whatnot that I've gotten out of this one, which is quite a bit newer model, even though it is a lower number. This is the TS219, also known as the Nightstalker. Kind of a weird name, but yeah, you can see we do have a bit of similarities here. I mean, the handle size and blade are fairly the same. Both of them have this downward cant into kind of a tonto sort of thing. This one's a bit more gradual, even though it does have that compound grind there at the tip, a bit like this one. A little bit less on this one though. This one's super duper thick at the tip there. So, yes, this is the 219 Nightstalker, and I really do have to say, besides the fact that it's probably dirty because I've just been using it last couple of days, getting ready for the review and whatnot. Yep, there's that whatnot word. Sorry about that. I really think this thing has amazing ergonomics to it. This thing just melts into my hand. All the curves are just exactly where I want them to be for my fingers. We got some nice jimping up top there. Super duper nice. We basically have a titanium sub-frame lock, if you will. And we do have this kind of fuller, not really, just a hole sort of thing there. And, if you are strong enough to overcome that detent or whatnot with your particular fingers and whatnot, then that works out pretty darn good. There's that whatnot again. All right. So this one, when I did first pick it up, there was a couple of problems with it. The first of which that I had noticed was that it had a little tiny bit of blade wrap right at the apex point there or whatnot. Darn it, I keep saying that word. That's going to drive me crazy. And I kind of pointed that out, kind of shining the light down there. You can see that brighter point. That's basically where the blade was hitting there. But I sharpened it up once, and that does not make contact anymore. So it just seems like this was just a little tiny bit under-sharpened from the initial intended specification that Jelly Jerry had given him. Kind of like I had with my TS219 Barracuda. This one, it does also have just a little tiny bit of detent slop or whatever you want to call that. It's something that you're only going to feel if you have the spine of the blade face down and you're pushing up on it. It doesn't affect the action on it. It kicks out super nice as well, so it doesn't have a weak detent because of that. So yeah, that's a little bit annoying, but hey. What are you going to do? I think that's pretty much just this one in particular, because you can accidentally mess up a detent a little bit. I know I've done it once or twice myself on accident. But yeah, the blade in here, nicely tucked in there. We've got the blade stop pin up there. It's not internal to the blade, so it's going through both sides of the titanium. It's 14C28N, and that's the only variant that I've seen this in, whereas this one, the Viper, is available in 14C28N as well as M390. But, I mean, between the two of them, I really do have to give it to this one. The ergonomics on it, for me, are just fantastic. It really melts in there, really comfortable in both the hammer grip, the saber grip. If you want to do reverse, that works. And I also, from time to time, will have it this way for pulling through some stuff. Works out super great in all of those situations. Pocket clip is also really, really easy to get in and out of the pocket. You are going to have a little bit sticking up. Hey, it's a milled pocket clip, so it's not a super deep carry. But it's fairly minimal. Let's see. Yeah, right around the same amount that the Viper does. So yes, I covered the couple of kind of negative things going on with this thing, but yeah, I've also covered the ergonomics being super nice. I really do like the blade on this. It does have a nice grind to it. And I do like that we have the compound grind for the tip here, as you can see, but it's nowhere near as exaggerated as the Viper is, or some of the other Jelly Jerry designs are. So it does a pretty nice job of getting thinner there at the tip. This is also, you know, a clip point. And hey, if you're comfortable with laying your finger up there for doing some, a lot of times I'll do some utility cuts like that using my thumb as kind of a guide or something like that on the material, and that works out super nice. Let's see, it does have a 3.8 millimeter blade stock thickness, which I believe is basically the same as this guy. They look about the same. Actually, I think this is 3.85 and this was 3.8. What are you going to do? It's very small difference, but yes. We also have, what, like 3.5 inch? A little bit more, actually. Well, it's going to come out to right at 3.5. Thanks to that ruler there. So, yeah, of course, it does make sense because these blades are very similar. Let's see, I could probably do some size comparisons since I have some crap in front of me. There we go. We got the PM2, which it's just a little bit larger than. Why not? We'll go with the Manix 2XL, and yes, very similar as far as the blade length on that. Oh, here's my little Benchmade 940. Oh, it's in my other hand. Here we go. Here's the rat number 1. Fairly similar that way. And I don't know, why not? Because I just have it sitting in front of me. The K-Bar Dozier. That one's in D2, but hey, they're all the same kind of spec. That Folding Hunter. Let's see, the weight on this, I don't remember off the top of my head, so I can just pull out my little scale here and take a look. Just a touch over 4 ounces, or 115.1 grams. So not too bad. It's a little over that ounce an inch mark, but well, titanium frame locks aren't exactly the absolute lightest things you're ever going to get on the planet, but this one does a pretty darn good job overall. Alright, so we do have pivot colors on both sides here. Since I do want to take this guy apart, so I'll pull that pivot off there. Standard T8 construction like most TwoSuns. Single screw for the pocket there. It is a not a cylindrical or circular kind of thing there, so it does have a little bit more that will resist that, but still, because it's just going into the carbon fiber, you might want to be a little careful with that in general. And yes, this one is just a little bit different here. So we got that one out. And yeah, I can, oh, it doesn't need to come out. But there are hidden screws. So we got, have to switch over to the T6 for this one to be able to remove that carbon fiber scale. And yeah, there we go. There's that other screw. At least that one's the T8. But you can also see from here how much of the carbon fiber inlay or onlay or whatever you want to call that is there. So it does make sense that this isn't really milled out so much on the inside because, well, you've already got a lot of milling going on that side. We also have a little peg on the a couple of them here on the titanium that fit into the carbon fiber scales just for extra rigidity there, so that's kind of nice. We got the stainless steel insert there. I don't know what's up with all the black on it. It came that way, but hey, none of that actually interfaces with the lock, so I don't really care. We got the standard bearing races going on here too, so that's super nice. So yeah, not too much different from the rest, except for having that hidden screw on the inside there, which, yeah, that is just a little tiny bit different. Oh, come here, stop pin. There we go. Yeah, this is definitely one of those that if you were expecting it to just come apart just by taking the pocket clip screw out, and we're a little, gosh darn it, confused as to why it wasn't going, well, there would be the reason for that. And probably one of those reasons why, usually excessive force is not going to help you out in a lot of situations. Some of them it certainly will, though. I don't even have the pivot on there, so I don't want to close the blade yet. These little T6 screws are a little annoying. But okay, there we are. And I can get the pivot back in there. All right. Yep, we're all back together and nice and everything. Yeah, really do like the action on this one. Like I did say last week, this Viper here probably has the absolute smoothest action out of any TwoSun I actually had. Well, out of any of the liner locks, I'll say that. The 313 button lock and the 329 Vandal are more frictionless, but that's due to their nature of not having any friction on it when you have the plunge lock pushed down. The last thing I do want to say on this, which is a little kind of strange on it, and I wish that it was just a little bit better, is the detent on this is very late. So there's your thumb there, and yeah, you're not over it there. It does have the detent, the reverse detent groove to help out with that. But if you are just used to pushing that just a little tiny bit and going over there, sometimes it will bounce back into being locked instead. You know, something that if you want to EDC it, you will essentially get used to it very, very quickly. But, you know, that's one of those things like when some tech reviewers take a look at an absolute mess of laptops and they're like, well, I don't like this keyboard. And it's mostly because they have, you know, just a plethora of choices and they've kind of made up their mind on what they actually like. But for the most of us, if we got a laptop, we're going to get used to it, whatever that might actually be. So, or I guess another kind of tech comparison is going into a big box store and looking at all the TVs. and then having a salesperson go like, well, check out this one. This one has a higher bit depth. It's got blah, 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 this, that, and the other. Higher nit rating, all that sort of stuff. And you're like, well, that's neat. And it looks better just comparing them because they're side by side. But once I take that one home, I'm not going to care what the other one looked like. So, as always, with those sort of things, yeah, your mileage may vary. It really depends on how opinionated you might be on some of that sort of stuff. I'm still getting a little used to that late detent myself. It's certainly not something that I would call a make or break feature, though. It's super nice overall. I do like it quite a bit. So yeah, there's the TS219 Nightstalker. I've had this one a little bit less time than I've had some of the other Jelly Jerrys out there. I do actually have some more on the way, the 213 and 215, I believe, which are also, believe it or not, even newer than this one. So, yeah, they allot numbers in chunks, and it really depends on if that designer fills all those slots up at once, or if they don't. So. But yeah, this is a super good one, and as long as you don't have the little tiny bit of detent slop or whatnot that I actually have on this one in particular, then this is an absolutely fantastic knife. Alrighty, well, as always, I appreciate y'all for watching, and have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, yo.